So I get this question quite a bit in my inbox and my everyday networking events. I get people who ask, Vidette, I really don't know what I'm passionate about, and if I did find it, is it too late to get started? Well, I'm going to share with you a great example for one of my favorite country stars, Kenny Chesney, and I'll show you why that might be, in your own mind, a big fat lie that you're telling yourself.
Free your mind!
So over the weekend, I was doing my hair and listening to Pandora on my iPad. And when a new song comes on Pandora, they give the bio of the artist. And a Kenny Chesney song came on, and I stopped enough to read the bio and was really surprised at it. And here's what I learned. I learned that Kenny Chesney didn't grow up with a guitar in his hand, didn't grow up with a passion for singing or songwriting. He simply went to college and was studying marketing and received the gift of a guitar for Christmas. So he started to teach himself and learn how to play the guitar. And instead of waiting until he was great at what he was doing, he joined a bluegrass band and was seen very often playing at a pretty frequent local gig, which was at a Mexican restaurant. So fast forward, he graduated from college, moved to Nashville, and knew he just had to play in order to get better and to gain experience and to gain a following of people who knew what he was doing. And his regular gig in Nashville was at a rough honky-tonk, is how they described it. Right up my alley. Good old country music and a honky-tonk. Love it. I digress. So he played at the honky-tonk for a while and knew he wasn't going to get seen there by anybody who could actually take him to the next level. So he left there, continued to play, eventually signed a record label with a record deal with a record label that really didn't have a lot of experience with country music, but he knew he had to get the experience. So he signed on with them to get experience on that side of the music industry. And he stayed with that record label for, I believe it was 2 years, and then signed with a larger record label. But what was so shocking to me about it is, A, he didn't know what his passion was until he picked up a guitar, until he had the idea of, I'll give this a try. And so, I think sometimes we think that we have this overwhelming sense of what our passion is, or what life experience we can translate into something bigger. We're so close to our own lives that sometimes we don't see the gift that we have. I don't know for sure if he never picked up a guitar, but he didn't until he was in college. He didn't get serious about it until he picked it up, started playing, and found that he loved it. And so when someone asks me, Vidette, I don't even know what my passion is, sometimes it's something we have to pull out of ourselves. Sometimes we don't even know what's right in front of us. But when we do realize what it is and we put it into practice and we get started, that's when we know we've hit the jackpot. When he started playing in bluegrass bands and at the rough honky-tonk, he obviously wasn't living his dream and his total life purpose, which was to be on the stage in front of tens of thousands of people. But he had it in his blood. He knew that he had to keep doing it. He had to keep practicing. He had to keep taking the next step and doing those things that weren't exactly his big vision yet. But he had to sign on with the record label that really didn't fulfill his need to promote him in the country music industry. But he did it for the experience. And sometimes when we're just realizing what our passions are, no matter how old we are, we have to just take the next step. Put it out there. See how it feels. Put it on. Try it on. See how it feels. And when it feels right, you know you're going in the right direction and you take the next step. And it's only with having that big vision in our minds that allows us to take that next step towards that big vision. So if you're asking yourself, I'm not really sure if this is my passion, go do it. Just try it on. Do it in front of your friends or family. Write a little ebook about it. Write a Word document about it, but see how it feels when you write about it or when you talk about it. Whatever your comfort level is, That's what you want to do, to try it on and see if it feels right. So take a little bit of a lesson from Kenny Chesney and just take the next step, the next logical step, which might be a little itty bitty step, but it's a step forward. So now that we know Kenny's story, what is your story going to be? What is that life event or that passion you have that you can translate into a business? I'd like to ask you to leave your comments below and let me know. Let me know what it is that's swimming around in that mind, and I will tell you your next step will be to go to vidette.com and make sure you get the free training course that I have developed for you, which will outline exactly how you'll take your experience, your life experiences and your life passions, and translate them into a business. I give you my 11-step process, and you will come out of that training video knowing for sure what your next steps are going to be. So get there now, and I'll see you over there.
Free your mind.